Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I'm going to be doing a Q&A as I said in my last video. So thank you to everybody who commented on my last video and also hit me up on Discord for the questions as well. So let's just get right into this. First question we have is from the Watchman. He says, will you ever reprint any cards for specific factions as a Mystic Rare colorless faction version? So that was a lot to digest. So basically, will I ever reprint cards that are already created for a specific faction and make them basically a neutral faction creature, just as a higher rarity? I have thought about this. At some point, if I do re-release the game in a more professional way, I'm definitely going to move some cards that exist for specific factions and then turn them neutral, just because I feel like some of them would fit better that way, now understanding the game and the mechanics a little more. So for instance, Avarice Stone is a really good card for the Pirates, but it's not really necessary for them to have that much card draw, so that kind of put me in a spot there. So if that was a neutral faction card, that would be a great card that people could throw in as a staple. But for the current version of Mystic Islands right now in the HTCG space, I guess, we're going to be leaving the cards as is, so there's not confusion on card names and things like that. Our next question is from Captain Guppy. How many TCGs have you made before Mystic Islands? And if you've made some, can we maybe see them? And this is a great question because I've made probably 4 other TCGs as a kid. I think I lost one of them, but I think I have 3 other ones. So if you guys do want to see that, please let me know. If we hit 20 likes on this video, yes, I'm selling out, then I will do that next video for you guys. But I'll definitely show them off at some point, if not. So great question. Epic Worlds PCG says, do you plan to publish a rulebook for the game? And he also says, have you ever made a paper computer game? So I'll answer the first one. So yes, most definitely working on the rulebook. I am crazy slammed with work at my college right now. This is my final semester, so I really got to make sure that I don't slip grades, anything like that, because it is time to get done with it. And it's super important. I only got about 2 months left, so if you guys can hang in for 2 more months, I should have a lot more free time after that. But the rulebook should come out before that, so most definitely, and I'll announce it and everything like that, probably put it in the Discord, put it on the website. So it'll be very accessible. And have I ever made a paper computer game? I was thinking about this one when I first saw the comment, and I was like, no, I've never made one. But if I really think about it, I kind of did back in the day when I was younger, maybe like 8 or 9. I was pretty into Call of Duty at the time, so I drew out these little guns and cut them out, and I kind of made my own little video game out of paper. But it never really went farther than that, but that was pretty sweet. Realm Rumble TCG says, what is the longest game you've played or seen for Mystic Islands TCG? So the longest one I've ever seen was actually between 2 of my friends. They were both running the exact same deck, and it was a Dwarf Mage deck, which might be the slowest deck in the game at the moment, to be honest with you. And they did not know what the other person had, so they both played almost a mirror match. And because there's barely any speed in those decks at all, this game went on for probably 40 minutes. And that's probably the longest. Most games last 20, so that was kind of crazy there. Mystic Fox says, what do you say your pivotal moment was in deciding you were going to make your own TCG for the first time? So if we're not speaking on this one, the very first time, I was pretty much bored as a kid, and I actually I made it out of Legos. So I basically took Lego pieces, I know this sounds crazy, and I would try to redraw them on a piece of paper and create a little card game based on the Legos that I created. But if we're talking Mystic Islands, this started actually before COVID, probably like 6 months before COVID. I was looking at my older TCG that's somewhat similar, and I decided, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to pursue this, but I don't have time. Then COVID hit, and Mystic Islands was born, so I had time to work on it. Wasn't really able to work that much during COVID, so I really had a lot of free time. So that's pretty much how Mystic Islands started, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if I can pronounce your name, so I'm sorry, but I think it's Pelly. Could you see yourself adding dual faction cards that could be used in both decks? This is an amazing question because I actually have really been thinking about this recently. So I had 2 ideas for this. So adding dual faction cards is definitely something I want to do. I just need to figure out what ruling I want for it. So I can go one of 2 ways. I can either have the factions, have it be a 2 faction card, but it has to be in a deck where you only run those 2 factions, or it obviously has the 2 factions and you can just throw it in with a deck with at least 1 faction of its type. So this kind of soft breaks that rule of the two factions per deck thing. So I don't know if I want to go that way or the other way. If it is, obviously, if the card is only allowed with the 2 specific colors, it's going to be more powerful than a standard card. So that might be the way I go. Not sure when that's going to be added. I would think probably set 4 or beyond though. Mystic Dansun says, what is the most versatile card that you can use for any deck? I'm going to say 2 cards at the moment in the game. I would say Forbidden Spell, just because this pretty much negates 90% of ability cards. I know this is a boring pick though, so I'm going to show you the exciting pick, which will be Mystical Aegean Dragon, a 1 attack 3 defense, 4/1. When it's killed, gain 3 health, and it goes to the bottom of your deck. This is just a great card for pretty much any deck, a great turn 1 play to lock your opponent out a little bit. Realm Rumble TCG says, as you were creating set 1 for Mystic Islands, was there any moment in time where you felt that you wanted to quit or scrap the idea of your own HTCG and just start a new project? This is a great question. And you know, I feel like this is something everybody that creates any type of project deals with. I definitely have, and I believe it was actually a few months ago when I felt this, and I was thinking about scrapping it, but the ability to push through and just continue your project no matter what happens was just such a great, valuable skill. So I can't stress this enough. I see TCGs that just pop up and then they're here for a year, they're gone, they're here for 6 months, they're gone. So please continue your projects. You know, if you're unhappy with your project, do your best to keep progressing on it. As you can see, I mean, Mystic Islands has taken a huge step now. So set 3 is going to be a much different looking game. It's going to play a little better. And overall, I've gained so much experience by doing this that it's so fun to look back on. But yes, I did have this feeling, just a smidgen of it, but you know what? I made that promise to you guys that I was going to keep doing it, and I'm back in the groove again, and I can't wait to work more on the game. Scoot says, where do you get inspiration? A simple question, but it is an important one. Inspiration is huge for creating anything. It's very rare that you can go into anything and then just off the top of your head know exactly what you want to do. If you look at other people's work, other artwork, look at Magic and Pokemon, looking at other homemade TCGs. Obviously, don't steal anything from anybody, but you can get a great deal of inspiration just by looking at things, and it really gets your creative juices flowing. So I find inspiration everywhere. And our last question is from Newbie Editor. Question is, when will you do a face reveal? Well, why don't we do it right now? Here we go. I gotcha, just kidding. I think I'm going to do a face reveal either at 500 or 1K subs. That would be sweet. So if you guys really want to see that, let me know. Thank you guys all for the questions. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are a great fan base, and I really appreciate you. I know you guys are hanging in there, and I'm really trying to create as much content as I can with a little bit of free time I have. But Mystic Islands is still here, and set 3 is going to be a banger. So guys, please subscribe and like the video. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.